they got people thinking if you're not making $10,000 your first month, you're
Literally.
a failure. But
UGC put me in front of somebody who had 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, and then that person who had 100,000 subscribers introduced me to someone who had 500,000. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Thanks for watching, and today we're gonna teach y'all how to get started in UGC in 2026. How you doing? I'm Isaiah, and this is my lovely wife, Serenity. Say hi.
Hi.
We're gonna go over some, where we started with UGC, where we're at now, and how you can get started. We're gonna keep this very simple and beginner friendly. We'll probably drop another video on some more advanced stuff, some more technical stuff, but why don't we get started with the basics? So, again, my name's Isaiah. As you may know if you follow, even though we only have 11 followers. One day we might have 1 million. That's the goal, yeah. 100,000 I'd be fine with too, minimum, just 100,000. But anyway, I've been making content for about, I'd say since around 2019. I didn't start out making UGC content. I started out making little video game clips and making little edits of like other little videos, like sports videos and stuff and whatnot. And I transitioned into UGC, which stands for user generated content, about around 2021, 2022. That's when I started like really doing it full time, taking it seriously for the most part. And yeah, I've made a good amount of money from content creation, more than I ever thought was possible, more than I thought. And it's been pretty fun. I don't have a content creation or marketing background, so this is all new, and it's been a little bit of a struggle my first few years starting out because I had to learn on my own. And there's a lot of gatekeeping, a lot of secrets that these people in this content creation field and UGC, they won't tell you certain things, or they make you think it's easier than it really is. And it is easy, but it's also hard. They got people thinking if you're not making $10,000 your first month, you're a failure. But that's not true. Ooh, that might be a good hook. If you're not making $10,000 a month, you're a failure. I might use that one right there for this right here. You see, you like that? But anyway, all right. Now that we got where I'm at, where I've been and whatnot, let's pass it off to you, my love.
I feel so weird holding this fast. You laugh.
Good. Embrace it.
Hi, my name is Serenity. I started doing UGC not too long after he did, but it was more of like a side hobby. I would take in jobs here and there or be a secondary on his jobs. I originally got a bachelor's degree in education for biology, so I thought I was going to be a teacher. And then now I'm working on my master's in psychology. My hope is to transition from UGC into creating my own brand where I can help parents and children with anxiety and depression and things like that. But for my UGC journey, I've taken a couple jobs. I haven't made more than like $2,000 a month yet. But again, I'm also a mom. I have 2 kids. So, it takes time and effort, and fitting it in our schedule can be really, really hard with both kids. Sometimes he's holding a crying baby just so I can get a job in because it's due. So, yeah.
Very good. Thank you. I like that. Yeah, let's go into a little bit, with the kids and whatnot. So, we are married. We've been married for 2 years, but we've been together almost, 5, 6 now. It's been a while. And through that, pretty much, I'd say we have 2 kids. Our oldest kid, we pretty much started doing UGC like seriously since he was an infant. I remember doing my Fiverr videos with him when he couldn't hold his head up. His head was bobbling. I was like, hi, I'm Isaiah. I got this like 2-month-old head rolling like it's demented. I don't know how I got any jobs, y'all, but it works. But that's a good way to transition into it. I started out on Fiverr. That's a place where $5 you can get some work done. In the past, now it's more than $5, but you could literally go on to Fiverr. There's a section just for UGC, even AI UGC. That's a whole other topic for another day. But UGC, and you just post a gig and offer your services, what you do, your experience, and somebody, believe it or not, will click on you. You don't need a lot of followers. You really don't even need a portfolio. It does help. or a portfolio or any examples of previous work, people will hire you even if you've never done work before, because it looks authentic, because that's what user generated content is supposed to be. It's supposed to look like a user of a product is making content about how much they love it or their experience with it. Pretty plain and simple. And there goes the baby. Now, having kids while making UGC, like she was saying, is very tough. Baby Jordan was born 2-3 months ago. 3 months ago. He's almost 4 months. I'll lose track of time, but I'm gonna go get him holding on my chest. Why don't you tell him about your first couple of UGC deals? Moving real. Thanks, babe. Look what she did to me. I'm not editing this out. She put a charger. She put a charger and her phone's on the ground right now under my foot.
It was in the thing.
It was under my foot. She set me up.
My first UGC video that I can recall doing, my first couple were of actual baby products that we did with our son Jaden. One of them was like a book where it had different things that you could play with. It was kind of like an interactive book. And then the other one was like baby knee socks, where it covered his knees while he was crawling. That one actually randomly went viral like not too long ago. But yeah, those were both from Fiverr. Fiverr is probably the easiest way to get jobs starting out. And then there's also a couple little apps like Join Brands and Upwork, Influencer. If you're looking to get products like just to practice doing videos, Influencer sends you out products and they look for reviews, and then you post them on Instagram or TikTok, so you get a free product to do that. So that's kind of cool.
Where you're telling them about all the apps and whatnot.
Yeah.
That is the first part. So, I'm going to make up a question. I'm going to act like someone is there. I already have a question on my mind that beginners have. I kind of do have a few. But basically, what would you say is the best way to start UGC, on the apps or reaching out to brands?
Ooh, that's hard. If you have no content whatsoever and you're looking to like create content with specific types of products and you can't think of anything in your house, the apps usually have products that you can apply to, and you can look at the requirements. They usually have some type of shot list. So they're easy to start out with. They give you like a breakdown, and sometimes you get paid for them or you just get the free products, but it gives you what you need. If you've already been making content and you know what you're doing, and maybe you already have a portfolio created, I would highly recommend just starting to reach out, because that's where you're going to make the most money. Getting brand deals with brands on your own, because you're not going through a third party.
And some of these third-party services, don't they take out some fees and whatnot?
Yes. Like Fiverr, for example, takes out 20%. So say you get a video and you make $100 off of it, you're really only going to make $80.
And technically, you're supposed to pay taxes on that money too, but that's also besides the point. About 20% dang near.
Yeah, probably. Depends on how much you make that year, but that's a whole other thing.
So yes, I would agree with you. I'd probably say starting out on the apps. If you do have any experience with content creation or reaching out to brands and whatnot, marketing, then maybe, I would do that. But the apps are the best way. Yeah, we did Fiverr and Join Brands. I got in Billow, I probably did between Join Brands and Billow at least 20 or 30, 40 orders before I really started seeing a notice on Fiverr. My Fiverr right now, I have almost 200 reviews, almost 200 orders. I'm very close. And then, like I said, about between Join Brands and Billow, 50. So I'm about 300 orders in. And then I don't even know if you want to count TikTok Shop. We've done TikTok Shop before. UGC on a whole nother level. That's just for TikTok, and it's a little bit less polished, supposed to be. But another video, so much good content, y'all. But I've almost worked with over 500 brands, I'd say, between TikTok Shop and then just the normal UGC on Fiverr, Billow, Join Brands. And I can honestly say, guys, start UGC today. I wish I would have started it sooner. And not only that, but while you're starting UGC, make sure you build your own brand, because that's what's going to make you the most money. Make your own brand. Post videos while you're making videos for these brands. As you're reaching out and they're doing inbounds and talking to you, reaching out back to you, make sure you're making your own personal content. Whether you're teaching people how to do something, you're entertaining them, you're dropping examples of your UGC videos that you could do from your portfolio, or something you just did another brand recently. You always want to make videos so you stay, in practice, so that way you stay better than your competition. A lot of people in UGC, they're not posting every day. I just started doing this recently so I could build up my own brand, and I'm definitely seeing a huge increase in the things that are happening. I've been reaching out a lot more. I've been using systems, and honestly, UGC is the way to go, y'all. Now, let's go on to the next question. Did you tell me your first deal already? I can't even remember mine. What was your first deal again?
It was a interactive book. I actually just threw this book away because it was torn apart, but it had like little pieces where you could make like faces and zippers and stuff that Jaden got to play with. So Jaden had his first deal with me.
Oh yeah, and the beautiful thing about UGC, the kids can do it, the dogs can do it, the cats, the pets. Anyone could do it. Moms, dads, grandpas, grandmas. I've seen the grandpa UGC. UGC is for anybody. It doesn't matter what age, what race, what religion. The brands need people to make content, and they don't want to hire actors. That's probably a question people have. But before I get onto that tangent, I'll talk about my first deal. Now, I can't really remember. I want to say it was something I didn't want to do, honestly, a product I wasn't interested in, but I did it anyway because I needed the experience. And this is a good point on itself. Probably another question a beginner might have is, what kind of deals do you take, and what do you do when you first start out? Do you take deals that you don't like doing? Do you do things you don't agree with? And I would say yes and no. You never want to promote something that you personally don't agree with, but if it's just a product that you're not interested in, well, that's where you can grow, because you might find a format or a style of making content with that product that can transfer over to another product or another niche. So first starting out, say yes to everything, even if the pay is a little bit low. It's not really about the pay, it's about building your portfolio up so you can get paid more later.
I have a stipulation to that.
Okay, go ahead.
Say yes to everything you can actually do. Do you remember when we got those backyard lights? So we were like, oh, we'll do this deal. It was like, I think $500-$600 to take video and pictures.
Like 10 videos?
Yeah, of backyard lights. Only thing is the backyard we were using was his parents' house, and they were in the middle of moving. So trying to get that all done was not fun.
And to add on to it, they were moving. It was a hot summer, and we had a 2-year-old at the time, 1-year-old, who liked to be active. So, and we lived 30 minutes away at the time too, on top of that. Yeah. So trying to figure all that out, that was closer to I'd say when we first got started, that was probably month 3 or 6. I'd say probably month 6, around there, maybe a year, our first year.
And so we did it, but it took us probably, I don't know, a week to get it all done, and multiple trips, and I'd say it probably took us 40 to 50 hours of work. And it shouldn't have if we had our own backyard or something. So it's we made it work because we wanted to, obviously take the job, but just recognize what's going to take more time and more of your mental effort versus something that's easier to do. Because we could have taken 3 or 4 smaller jobs in that time frame and taken less time.
Oh yeah, you said it's something for them? Yeah, I would agree. And even we haven't gotten into much. Are you okay? We haven't gotten into much outdoor backyard stuff really afterwards. So, it gets tough. Making sure you say yes to the things that will work for you or provide you, some benefit in some way, shape, or form, whether it's monetarily or for your portfolio so you can show other brands. So I would say almost yes to everything as long as it benefits you in some way, shape, or form. When you first start out, unfortunately, we were still starting out that time, you're going to waste a lot of time. You're going to be slow. You're going to be awkward. You're not going to be comfortable from the camera like we are. This took us years in the making to do. We used to stutter, get shy, laugh, turn all red. Still occasionally, we still do. But we're way better. Honestly, we don't even care because most of the time we know not a lot of people will see it. And if they do, whatever. Honestly, I hope they do because then the brand will come back to us and want to pay us more. And that's going to make us feel confident and act less silly in front of the camera. So, yeah. Be who you naturally are. That's what's going to make you money, man.
That's a huge point too. Like when I first started out, I used to, you have like a phone voice. I used to put my phone voice on for my videos, and I constantly was being told that I wasn't authentic or happy enough. These were just comments made from people that
Energy? You mentioned something about your energy?
oh yeah, my energy. And I'm naturally not a very energetic person, but I think my fake phone voice sounds more, I don't know, just not authentic, not happy. I don't know. So learning to just be myself on camera was, I think, the hardest thing for me. Because I always was like, well, who would want to, listen to me or whatever the point was that I was trying to get. But at the end of the day, you learn everybody feels that way when they first get in front of the camera, and being yourself tends to get more clients coming back these days. My clients are always like, I love, the way you speak. I love your energy, because everybody's energy is different and every client's going to want a different type of energy. He's more upbeat and happy. I'm more of like your calm, motherly figure.
I like it. Yes, definitely. Stay true to who you are. Even us right now, we're baby on my chest. This is really us. This is what we have to deal with every day and do. And I shouldn't even say deal. We are fortunate to have the opportunity to do this, to make money from home. Now have to leave the safety of our home. We could stay at home and provide for our family and watch them, make sure they're safe and taken care of and educated and provided for. That's what anybody realistically wants, making sure they're handling their business, whether it's for themselves or their family, and we get to do both with UGC. There's nothing else like it. It pays just as much as a full-time job. I'm getting paid right now to have a baby on my chest. I think literally we just had a deal for him when he was just an infant, actually, funny enough. It is real, UGC for infants. It was, I believe, called the Lola Clove. Not trying to give them free, sponsoring and shouts outs, but it's okay. But something like that. And pretty much it was just like a little bed thing for him to rest on. Or was it supposed to help him with tummy time, or how did that work?
Oh, it was for like spit up and gas. It puts him at a 15-degree angle so that he was lifted up so that it would all go downwards. Because some babies laying flat, it's hard for them.
Yeah, it gets real. There's all kinds of products out there. There's new brands every day. They're dropping new products every day. And they need people like you and me, everyday people, to promote the content. They found out probably, I'd say about 5-10 years ago, that these influencers, they can't sell nothing, y'all. Nobody wants to buy nothing from them because it's kind of obvious they're, selling something to you. And so obviously they're going to say something good about the product they're selling. And so these big influencers just aren't that good at selling.
I slightly disagree with that. It depends on the influencer, because some influencers choose products that they actually use. And, there's morals behind it. You do have your influencers who promote products just to get the money from promoting the products, but there are influencers out there who care about the products that they're promoting.
Very true. The brands will love UGC the most because they like to pick micro influencers about under 10,000 followers, even to like 100 followers, and they could pay these people less versus Mr. Beast, who's probably gonna want $1 million or $2 million to advertise their product. So UGC actually saves brands money. So you're doing them a favor. They don't gotta hire a whole different video editor, videographer or photographer, social media strategists. There's just so much to it. So you're doing the brands a favor. And so knowing that and that, ooh man, we just going. I like it. We just going. Ooh, I can transition into price about this. There's just so many things. I love UGC. This is why I wanted some questions in hand. Let's see where are we at. We gave a basic overview. Talked about where we're at real quick. Let's see what else. All right, let's do a trend. Okay, it's all good. We gonna get in to the portfolio. All right, y'all. So the portfolio is probably one of the most important pieces when getting started and even later in your career. This shows what you're capable of, what you can do, what niches you work, what's your engagement, prior experience. The baby wants to talk with us, y'all. Oh, you know why? Why I said Bill and Joy Brands? Yeah. Okay, so yes, portfolio. This is the most important thing, and this right here is gonna be the difference between you making maybe a few thousand to 100,000. Because people do that. In UGC, people have $10, $20, $30,000 months. Now, usually people don't start out that way, but you can if you work hard enough and you know what you're doing. So, we talked about Billo, Join Brands, and Fiverr. Now, once you start out on these apps like Billo, Join Brands, what is baby gonna throw a fit right now? Do I need to put a nail in it? Do we need to wait? Are you teething? Not too bad. He gave us 20 minutes to talk before he gave us in trouble. I'm not mad at it. Portfolio. Now, once you start getting some jobs in on Billo and Join Brands, it will happen, or Fiverr. It will happen. It might be slow. It will take some time, but keep making example videos. Now, if you're not getting any jobs from Billo's, Join Brands, or Fiverr, make an example video. You probably are going to see this. A bunch of creators are going to talk about this. It's huge. But literally, all your products around your house, most of them are probably being advertised. And so you are online, or the brands are running ads on those products all the time. So literally grab whatever it is. You can literally grab your iPhone, make an iPhone ad, grab some toothpaste, grab a hat, a jacket, literally. It could even be a spatula like in my hand right now, you guys. I'm telling you, every brand needs UGC. And make an example video. Go see what other people are posting on their accounts. Go look at other people's portfolios and see what people are doing. And you'll learn really fast how to make these videos. They're kind of simple. They can be hard sometimes, especially when these brands send you a script that they want with a shot list of like 100 different things, and occasionally that will happen. But for the most part, I'd say brands let us get to choose. Maybe it's like 50-50. They let us choose for us to make the script and, you know, what we want to film and how we want to film it. So that's the fun part about, you know, filming things around the house and no brand telling you, you know, what to do. Your creativity gets to come out, but make sure you're hitting, you know, your proper hook. You need a hook in the first 3 to 5 seconds. It's got to be a visual one. Maybe it's got to be a sound one. Maybe some movement, words, something. And then pretty much from there, some people either sell the product right away or they wait towards the end. You need you a body, the pain point of, I had this problem and this product solved that problem. And then a CTA. That's a closer, pretty simple. Follow me, link in bio, you know, where you could buy the product at. Very simple. And then some B-roll, just some shots of you using the product or the problem you have, the pain point. Just show us some B-roll, some quick clips, 3 to 5 seconds. These videos can be super fast. I'll make sure they're in the range of 15 seconds to 45 seconds. Even a minute helps. So, grab, again, go around the house, grab a product, make a video, grab your phone. That's what I'm using right now. That's a whole nother that's a whole nother subject, another topic. An iPhone. We're using an iPhone 15. I started out with my iPhone 14, then we upgraded to the 15. Don't underestimate these iPhones. They have some crazy settings. Do your research. Figure out how to use these iPhones. Do your research. Figure out how to make a good hook. Do your research. Figure out how to make a good ad. And that is your portfolio, all. As you get more deals they come in, always update your portfolio. Whether you're no matter what niche you are, it doesn't matter. You can have multiple niches or you can niche down. Starting out, I would niche down. That's a popular one. A lot of people tell you, choose 3 to 5 niches. Now, if you want to be an expert, I choose one niche to be an expert in. It's impossible to be an expert in all niches. But just because you're a hairstyle influencer doesn't mean if an app brand comes by, like, I can't even think. Let's say Uber. If you're a hairstyle person, Uber wants to work with you, you're going to want to say yes, because Uber's probably going to give you $1,000 to $2,000 for that video. They don't probably honestly care about you're a hairstyle influencer or whatever. They just want you to make a video about the product. So I wouldn't say niche down, because you will lose money if you just say no to everything just because, oh, I only do hair products. You're going to lose a lot of money, and then you're not going to be a UGC creator. I think it frustrates me low-key when people say niche down. I get it, but they need to make sure they specify that you can still do other pieces of work because you're losing money.
I think knowing yourself too is huge, right? Like, okay, in your example, you're a hairstylist. What would a hairstylist use Uber for? To go get hair stuff? So then you can always make every product work for who you are or what you're into. You know, I'm a mom, you know, send me a plant for the house. Okay, I'm trying to make the house look nice. I like my house clean, organized. You know, I spend a lot of time at home. Like, if you can come up with creative ways to creative ways to make products work for who you are, that's really like what brands are looking for. They're looking for your personality.
Which is really the biggest thing that I think a lot of people don't understand. They struggle, they try to copy, you know, someone they might see with 10,000 or 100,000 followers who might do UGC, who probably also does something else too, by the way. Don't let them fool you thinking all they do is UGC. Most of these people, that's not the only thing they do. That's a whole side point. But yeah, know yourself, and there's plenty of ways to make an ad work. That's why these brands are reaching out to you, because they need a hairstylist perspective so they can tap into her audience, and now her audience can have those ideas of, oh, if I would need to go grab some hair products, I can Uber too. It's really that simple. Like, a lot of people try to overcomplicate this, and it's not. The complicated part is getting consistent brands coming in. That is the complicated part. But once you get a system and you got experience, they'll just reach out to you eventually, and you won't even need to reach out. Some people I heard don't even reach out, which is crazy to me. So some people solely do Fiverr or the apps, and they make $5,000, $10,000 a month. That's awesome. How you feel about that? Yeah? Again, some people just use the apps and make $5,000, $10,000 a month. The apps will send them retainers, consistent work, large deals, whatever. Okay, so we got, let's see, the portfolio, niche down, the apps. Let's see what I've been yapping.
Starting out, I would look, like, say you're on Fiverr, look at people who don't have a lot of reviews and look at their price points, and you can pretty much keep your price points around that same frame if you're trying to get a lot of jobs. Now, there are people who also just start right out, you know, charging $150, $200 for videos, and sometimes it does work. Like, it really just depends on how good your portfolio is.
How bad the brand needs the work done.
Yeah. You know, when I started out charging, I think, $25 to $30 a video. Like, I was doing them for pretty cheap. Once I got a certain amount, then I upped it to 50 and then to 75. And now you usually do videos on Fiverr at least for around 150. That's usually about the price that I get. And then you have your, what do you call it? Package deals, where, you know, you might charge less because you're doing multiple videos for one product.
Brands love that.
Yeah, Yeah, I highly recommend packaging, because thinking about the time that it takes for a product to get sent to you, for the brand to send you what they want and everything else, if you can get multiple videos out of that, aka more money out of one product, it just, that's more income for you and less time that you have to spend.
So in other words, you're just saying upsell them. So if they want one video, ask if they can do 2 or 3 videos for a discounted rate.
Yeah. Or you could do even a larger discount by saying, hey, I'll do one video, but I'll do 3 different hooks, or I'll do 3 different CTAs. And that's just, your first 3 to 5 seconds you would just change of your video so that they have 3 different hooks to try out. A lot of brands like this for ads, because, some hooks hook people in more than others.
Yes, yes. So speaking of the pricing, where would you say right now you are at in your UGC journey? Would you say you're beginner, intermediate, or expert?
I would go with intermediate for me, just because I haven't taken it as serious as he has, or been, doing it as long. I've taken breaks when, we had the baby, or when I was working, So definitely intermediate.
Let's go into that real quick. I think it's huge. I like the story. You were a teacher and now you're a content creator. So can you tell me what's your favorite thing and like the biggest difference between being a content creator and a teacher, pretty much, or a teacher's assistant?
Well, yeah. So I was a teacher's aide for a class, and I did love my job. Don't get me wrong, but my hardest thing was, 1, you're spending money on daycare for your kids. 2, by the time I got home, it was 5 p.m. and I was just doing bath time and, the routine stuff that you do with your kids. And I didn't feel like I was getting the quality of motherhood that I was looking for. So thankfully, in the past 6 months, our UGC has taken off and I now get to stay home with the kids. So I spend every day at home getting to enjoy every little moment, because as everyone always tells you, these moments don't last very long. It feels like just yesterday that I had him. But I would say my favorite part is being able to stay at home and provide that, family environment that I was looking for.
That was good. What's the hardest adjustment for you, going from being 9 to 5 to content creator, stay at home mom and all that? She's doing it all, and she's in college still, y'all. She's doing the trifecta. Okay, she's a try hard, y'all. Okay, give her props down below.
Hardest part, that one's easy. When you go to work, you know what time you clock in, what time you clock out, what you have to get done when you get home. There's a certain time you have to get up. When you don't have a schedule, you have to create a schedule, right? Because, and this is something I'm still struggling with, it's easy to sleep. Oh no. Okay. It's easy to sleep in until, 10 a.m. and sit down and decide to, read a book, and that wastes a lot of time that you could have been, working on UGC or spending with your kids, or, whatever the case be. So I think my biggest struggle is just creating a routine for myself. You have to be disciplined, and you have to have a system, and you have to have those routines, or you're not going to get much farther. And that's the thing with doing UGC, is it's all on you. There's no guaranteed income. If you don't put in the effort, you don't put in the time, you're never going to get where you need to be. And recently, he's started to blow up and he's making really great money, and that's amazing, and I'm so proud of him. But there's always more you can do. He's starting to posting on his own stuff and starting to create his own brand. And eventually I would like to do that too, but that would require me to have those systems in place to make the time for that. That's the biggest part, especially with having a 3-year-old and a 3-month-old. The time's hard, So yeah, that to me is the hardest part, is being your own boss, I guess I would say. As you can see right now, he had to go change the diaper. This is, a common occurrence, and why it's taken us till now to start working on our podcast. We've been wanting to do this for months, but it's really hard to find the time with both kids. Jaden's at his grandma's right now, and so, that's a blessing too, that we have family that helps support us. If you don't have that, it makes it harder. You have to pay either for child care or figure out how to do it when they're sleeping, which a lot of times we do. We put the kids to bed around 8, and then, get everything set up, and we're doing videos until, 11 midnight, sometimes 1 a.m. But that's the grind, and that's what's going to get you where you need to be.
Yay! There we go. Yes. Grind mode. We're grinding right now, y'all. We got the baby with us. We're about to wrap this up because he's tired of us talking. He wants us to give him some attention, to play with him. Probably eat, maybe. So we gonna wrap this up right quick. So yes, grind. No excuses. We got the baby here. We're still recording because we don't have babysitter right now. Grind, y'all. That's what's gonna make the difference between a successful UGC creator or any entrepreneur, because again, this is a business. Grind. People are gonna doubt you. They don't matter. I think I'll give this why don't you say bye so you could deal with the baby, and I'll close the video. Thanks for being part of the video, babe. Love you.
I love you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you listening to me talk. Jordan says bye.
Yes, this is a business. You gotta act like it and take yourself serious. This is a business. This is entrepreneurship. You have the opportunity to change your life for the better and your families, and only you could do this. Nobody's gonna do the work for you. You gotta do the research. You gotta actually do the work when you don't feel like doing it, whether it's 1 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning. If that's the only time you have to do that work, you better do it. So, if you have any questions, you know what to do. We're gonna be posting a lot more. This is fun. We enjoy this. You're gonna be seeing me and Serenity and our family a lot because we're about this and we do this and we're serious. We are going to make 2026 a different year for y'all. We're going to put you up on game. We're going to show you vlogs. We're going to show you entertainment, skits, education. We're going to show you all kinds of different things, behind the scene things of what it looks like to be a UGC creator / entrepreneur, content creator, whatever you want to call me. UGC has changed my life. It's brought me opportunities that I didn't even know was possible, literally. UGC put me in front of somebody who had 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, and then that person who had 100,000 subscribers introduced me to someone who had 500,000 followers on YouTube or subscribers on YouTube. It's crazy. And content creation in general, there's so many things you could do, and that's what we're going to teach you here on the channel. So if you guys want to follow our journey or learn more about entrepreneurship and content creation, whether you're dad or mom trying to break into content creation, whether you're 18 or 21, whether you're older, 60 or 70, they want content, they need it, and they'll pay for it. So go ahead, follow, subscribe. If you need any help, you want to follow us, our journey, you want to support us, you need help on your journey, follow us. We got you. We're going to answer them questions, whether you need any suggestions or you want to give us suggestions on videos to do. We really appreciate you guys. This has been a fun journey, and we got a long way to go. Y'all gonna see some crazy stuff. We got some big plans, some big moves. So thank you for watching. I'm Isaiah, and until next time, peace out, y'all.